Eagle Community Television presents Community Connection with your host, Mike Cooper.
Welcome to Community Connection from Eagle Community Television. Thanks for watching, and thanks to our producer, Jeff Durall. We are in the workshop of Willy Pfeifer, a former owner of Hayes Planing Mill. And we wanted to come visit with, may I call you Willie?
You may.
With
I've been
Willie.
called worse.
We'll try to keep it civil if we can.
Okay.
To find out more about what he's been doing since the retirement back as the former owner of Hayes Planing Mill, and company that I think we could safely say was one of the premier companies for wood products in the area and finished designs of wood products. Started what, Willie, and said 57 for Hayes Planing Mill?
Now, the planing mill was founded in 1896 by Justice Bissing. He ran it until 1930, and at that time he sold the business to Mr. Dryling, Ham Dryling. Mm-hmm. Ham ran the planing mill from 1930 to 1957 when I bought it. Ham stayed with me until his death. He was a real good mentor. He was a total gentleman, good designer, a lot of fun to work with. And I ran the shop from 1957 until 1993, and I sold it to Dennis Brown. We had a lot of work going, so the contract called for me to spend 6 months to get the work that we had under contract completed. Well, after 6 months, it became fun for me, and it worked well until 1996. I was part-time employee, worked from 10 to 4, which was a nice arrangement. And I was able to work without a phone, do nothing but design. Anyway, this continued until 96. And I told the fellows that it was time that I retire. So I hadn't been doing much for a few months, and then the Hadley Center job came about, and Spec Woods and his partner talked me into being manager. So for a number of years, I was kept busy at the Hadley Center. Upon completion of that stint, Bernie Brown decided to sell this garage. I had rented the east half for about 30 years, kept the car in it and all the leftovers that the kids leave behind, you know. And it was necessary I buy the garage because I didn't know where to put the wife's car nor all that storage. So eventually I came into this area in here, cleaned it up, put some walls up, insulated it, put in electrical. And the thing that got me started is that I went over some old boxes, and they were filled with sculpture, patterns, and bases. And I also found a critique of one of my first shows. So I was lucky enough to have that. And I got decided that the snow was flying, I couldn't golf, and I was tired of getting into the wife's hair. So here we are. Air conditioning, heating.
All the comforts of home, even the coffee pot. Be sure to
coffee pot,
don't let that coffee get cold either.
Okay.
Willie tells me he's a big coffee fan. As a matter of fact, he starts early in the morning like many of us do, but switches over to decaf later on in the afternoon. So we certainly want to give him an opportunity to enjoy that cup of coffee with us, because we enjoy visiting with Willy Pfeifer. Quite a story, too, on the Bernie Brown, of course, a former manager of KAYS television for many, many years. And quite a story on this move out of the garage, too, because Bernie had stuff in the garage as well.
Bernie was a pure pack rat.
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple.
Couldn't, no other way to say it.
He was the champion pack rat. In this room, there was this cart. I gave away 6 total club sets. I still had, I think, about 22 putters. And the tools that were in here, this saw, when you go down into there, there's skill saws, there's a whole assortment of power tools. And this drill bit deal, you got to see this.
Grinders and such, drill
Well,
bits.
the drill bits.
Now, were the drill bits Bernie's?
They were all Bernie's. And they were all over the place. So I sorted them out, and you know, this is an example.
They were just scattered from all over the garage, basically, then.
These are all leftovers.
Ah.
So all of these boxes.
Notice the labeling now, everything in its place, and a place for everything here.
Well, it used to be all over the place.
It was all over the We got to see the golf clubs. They're right over here on the wall, because there are a couple of unique putters that you golfers may not be aware of.
Well, this is an original. One of Bernie's plumber friends made the original Plumber Putter.
That's it.
Now you can turn it on or off here, you know.
Oh, okay.
You adjust your stroke here.
As needed, all right.
Yeah. And then Burns enjoyed a drink or two once in a while. This is his JB putter.
Actually, a couple of these are yours, but most of them are left over from the Bernie Brown era, right?
4 of these are mine. And Burns used to collect a ton of these. Now, he took a few along, but some real unique pieces.
Now, where's that adjustable club? The all-purpose club?
Yeah, where did I do that thing?
Yeah, that's it.
I played with a guy over at the South Course by the name of Staub that had one of these. And what you do, you just give this a twist, and you can turn this head to adjust, just like a
thumb screw on the end there.
Yeah, this would be your putter setting.
All right.
And then probably in here it'd be a driver, and then you could take it way down to a sand wedge. And then if you were stuck for room,
so you only needed one club then, and you could take it.
This guy, he just carried it, you know. And he shot a pretty good game.
Now, question is, when you moved out in the garage, you had to find something to do. Had to be with wood, I assume, since you'd worked with wood all your life, right?
Well, see, I had patterns to a lot of these puzzles.
Where'd the patterns come from?
A dull meeting, mostly. I'll show you a couple of examples.
Your words, not mine, Willie.
Okay.
All right. How many patterns here, Willie? Got any idea? All of them have numbers, it looks
Yeah,
like.
there's 38, and over in this area here, you make these things and you can never make them alike, even if you try, if you have a pattern. But they don't get into this area until I feel that they were perfected well enough that I don't want to mess with them anymore. So there are 38 in this area here.
So let's go through the process here then. You have the pattern, you have a piece of wood. What kind of wood do you use, Willie?
Anything I can get my hands on. There is, okay, this is fence post cedar. There's poplar, there's walnut, white oak, red oak, African mahogany, on and on.
So you don't have any favorite wood then necessarily?
Oh, if I would want to spend a lot of money, I'd probably work in walnut, African mahogany, and white oak, you know. But it really is interesting. When I owned the shop, you know, I had, in those days we didn't have computers, no CAD drawing. So you'd sit there and do straight line drawing for hours. Every hour I'd go out, walk around, grab a piece of wood, make a puzzle out of it. Or a sculpture, or whatever, you know, turned me on. So after a while, I start numbering them. And this particular one here is a 4D. And if I want to make a 4D, the ones above are a pattern.
So,
and I never cut unless I say cut 6. And none of these will ever fit each other.
each one is unique.
Yeah, they're originals. They come from a basic pattern. And so the organizational thing is, if I get one that's good, I will cut this particular little portion of it here, which gives me top cut, side cut, and then you ad-lib. They're just two basic cuts. See?
Whatever you feel like, basically.
Well, what the wood looks like, how the saw blade is working, all that good stuff.
Well, now, why puzzles? Was it just what developed from the block of wood you were working with?
No, I started with sculptures. But,
Which are these are examples of sculptures, and all of these are sculptures then.
right.
And again, no two are alike, Willie. That's just
Well,
phenomenal.
They shouldn't be. You know, you're in a different mood. You see something. See, you don't do one of these until you. Well, here's an example. I put these out.
These right here.
This is an evolution of a sculpture.
All right. This is where it starts.
Yeah.
With just a basic piece of wood. Okay.
Well, it really starts here.
Oh, okay. With the drawing.
Now you doodle. See, this is doodle. I saw something somewhere that turned me on to this form. Okay, this would be the top. Okay, then you have to do something to make this thing pleasing from all four sides.
All right. Let me
Okay.
hold that to the camera there.
Okay,
All right.
so you start with a small piece and you cut it.
It's full dimensional.
It definitely has to be.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Okay.
and then what
All
you
right.
do, see, a lot of times you get nothing. These are about 3 cuts of that same initial pattern.
It just doesn't please you then.
Well, it doesn't work, or it falls to pieces, or
Okay.
the fall off isn't right.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, after a while, you toy around, or you get teed off, make kindling out of it, throw it away. Like most of this is going to be kindling. Now, this one here is an example. I sort of liked it. It's off the wall. Some of these are serious shapes that I like. Some of them, see these guys all snarky up there with the, I was in a funky mood that day. So, you know, the mood you're in, the way the saw is cutting, the kind of wood you have, to me determines what's coming off that day. So this one here, I was on a kick. I kind of liked it. So what I do, I enlarge it. Doing, doing, doing.
Oh, okay.
This here is cut out of cedar fence post.
Now you've got your settings the same on your saw, right? So
Well-
these are going to turn out, they're just larger, but they're going to turn out with basically the same pattern.
No. The same pattern, yes. But then, you know, if you've got a good copier,
You've got to make the drawings.
yeah, if I
Okay.
get this one right, then I can enlarge, which I did here.
Okay.
A lot of times when you enlarge, it shows up, bad features, unbalanced and all that sort of thing, so you discard it. Now, my next thing will be to invest in either walnut or oak or mahogany. This is just fence post stock. But, since I gotta buy all my wood right now, this is a piece of fence post. And I think I hit a stain that really does it well.
I'll
Plus,
say.
in my old age, I'm getting chintzy.
Well, you have to be practical about, you
I
know.
used to cut this and throw all this away. So now, I do a double design.
Oh, my.
Plus, it's a kind of an interesting feature.
Well, yeah.
You can visualize this in here.
I can see both ends on a mantle, for example, on a table.
See number 107? It fits, it came out of the center of that.
Okay. And both the 107s there. Okay.
So
And number 15 looks like.
there's all kinds of neat, fun things going on.
And this just comes out of your imagination then.
Yeah, well, let me show you how you get this stuff started.
Oh, he's got a whole book here of puzzle patterns, they're called.
Well, I'll show you after a bit. I even developed a spreadsheet. I went to a show.
All this is patented, right? So nobody can steal all of this
If
information
they
from us.
steal this, I don't care. This goes way back to 79. This is when I was doing it down at the shop. Mm-hmm. Hayes Daily interviewed me.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that.
You've been quite a celebrity for a long time, Willie.
This is back in '71.
Oh, Karen Dale, yeah. The Oakbrook Show in '71. That's the one you referenced. Okay.
Yeah. And
Wow.
this is when you would cut a lot of them, and the kids would help you sand them and stain them, lacquer them. And the big thing is to put them back together.
Ah.
So I took one suitcase full and sold on a Saturday and a Sunday. Sold $572 worth.
I was going to ask you about that. Have you ever really gone into this for profit mode, or is it just for the sheer joy of creation?
Oh, I sell a lot of this stuff, but if I had to make a living at it, it'd be like my poker and golf.
You'd be right on the edge, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Question is, why wood?
Well,
I mean, you sure you worked in wood at Hayes Planing Mill all those years, but why wood to continue your hobby?
because I can mold a piece of wood. If I were to, say, try to produce one of these pieces and cast it, it would be necessary for me to shape every little angle.
As in metal.
Right. And with wood, I can mark it off, and these on the average can be cut in 8 minutes. It takes me longer to make a base, this cradle, than it does to cut the puzzle. And then you have to sand it. It takes me longer to sand it. It takes me longer to stain it, and then to lacquer it, then to assemble it. So what I've done, a lot of people come in and they'll say, I have 3 kids and 5 grandkids. What can you do? So I've taken some of these that are fairly complicated, and I just cut them, sand the exterior, put a label on them. This is $11. But it's got
Numerous
an interesting sculpture in the center of it.
Willie, we're out of time. Thanks for joining us today, and thanks for letting us take a tour of the workshop.
Well, it's been fun.
Our community connections with former owner and now retired woodworking genius and artist, I think we can safely say.
I like that.
Can we use that?
Yeah, I'll buy another 10 minutes if you want to continue like this.
Willy Pfeifer, our guest today from Community Connection. Thanks to our producer, Jeff Durall, for the traveling visit today in Willie's workshop. And thanks to you for watching Community Connection from Eagle Community Television.